Hello everybody, I have two recent DVD pickups I wanted to show you here, and it got me thinking about these giant movie packs, 50 movie packs, 100 movie packs from companies like Millcreek, and the difference between the reputation that they have and how they can actually be a fantastic buy and a great way to build a movie collection fairly cheaply. But first, let's look at the two pickups that I got here. One in a nice tin case, 12 comedies, a classic comedy collection. And this one with Cary Grant's face in the back there. It includes His Girl Friday, Charade, The Amazing Adventure, My Favorite Brunette, Road to Bali, Road to Hollywood, Made for Each Other, Nothing Sacred, Penny Serenade, Life with Father, My Man Godfrey, and Father's Little Dividend. So, good movies, and really good movies, and then this 50 movie pack, this family classics, and these were each Goodwill finds for, they're roughly $2 a piece. They're by weight, so roughly about $2 a piece on average, but 50 movies for $2. Pretty amazing. There's so many here: Till the Clouds Roll By, The Medicine Man, Disorder in the Court Law, Three Stooges, some Judy Garland, like too many to go through every one. Shirley Temple, Laurel and Hardy, Buster Keaton, Abbott and Costello. There's Lewis Hayward, James Cagney, Gary Cooper, Douglas Fairbanks Sr., W.C. Fields, the East Side Kids, Mickey Rooney. I mean, it just goes on. Charlie Chaplin, The Kid, Buster Keaton and the General. I mean, like, really good movies. Carol Lombard was fantastic in just about everything. Elizabeth Taylor. Just so many good movies. And I have a lot of these different packs. There's actually a few on my wish list to get that I just haven't stumbled upon, because the majority of them I've found brand new sealed at things like Ollie's, like bargain outlets or thrift stores or things like that, usually sealed for $5 to $10 a piece over the past maybe 4 years or so, since I started grabbing some of these. And they have the reputation of being these terrible collections of just horrible prints of mediocre movies, and it's just a bunch of junk and not worth your time and money. And that can be true sometimes with some of these. You have to be a little careful, but the majority of them are actually a great deal. I mean, just looking at these two collections I picked up here for $4, I got 62 movies, and there's some good ones on here, really good ones, including some stuff that also has Criterion releases, and stuff like My Man Godfrey. Love that movie. Picked up the Criterion release. I'm going to get the Criterion Blu-ray sometime. Yeah, that's on a couple of these collections. His Girl Friday is on there. There's a whole one of them that had, one of these ones had Philadelphia Story. There's so many good movies in some of these collections that if you're collecting on a budget, or you want a way to be able to see a bunch of fun classic movies and then decide if you want to spend the extra money to get a really good release like a Criterion or something like that, or some sort of remastered collection, this can be a great way to sample a lot of these movies. And the quality does vary on a lot of these, but for some of them, even the bad prints might be just as good as what you'd buy on an individual release. There are a bunch in these collections. I have a stack here, the Mystery Classics 50 movie collection, 50 movie Dark Crimes, Legends of Horror, another 50 movie, 150 episodes of classic sci-fi TV. This one in particular is going to be related to what I'm going to talk about in a second here. Sci-fi Classics 50 movies. There's a bunch of different ones like that. First one I ever got was Hollywood Comedy Legends. This one has amazing movies in here. Stuff with some of my favorite actors. There's Cary Grant, there's Peter Sellers. There's just so much in here that is just fantastic. Good stuff. More Carol Lombard. Good things, but some of these, there might not be a home release that is significantly better. Some of these, even though the quality varies per each one depending on what source they're using, for a lot of these, maybe the only other way to get it on something like DVD or Blu-ray is just as bad, or it's on one of those print-on-demand DVD-R services through like the Warner Archive or something like that, to where it might not be that much better of an experience to spend the $10 to $20 sometimes on that one release when you can get that movie along with 49 others or more for $5 to $10 for the price of just buying that. So it's not always a worse quality copy, and for some, if it is, then you go and spend the money and buy. You pick and choose out of those 50 art. I have these 50 movies for like $5 to $10. There's a few that I really like and would like a better copy, so then you go out and get it. But yeah, they can be a great way of building. Just here I showed several hundred movies and 150 TV episodes of some great stuff, and for very little. I mean, all this over the course of the past couple of years, that couldn't have been more than, let me see, couldn't have spent more than $50 on a few hundred movies. And good stuff again that has releases in really prestigious collections. And depending on what it is, there are a few that I've two different prints, definitely from two different sources, they have to be, on these collections of My Man Godfrey, because they look pretty different, but one of them isn't that far off from any of the individual releases I've seen on DVD. The Criterion is definitely a little bit of a step above, but some of the other releases of that movie, it really isn't that significant of a difference. The Small Show on Earth is another great one of Peter Sellers that the individual releases really aren't any better than what's included in one of the Millcreek collections. And these are also a really fun way to, for very little money, explore some things you might never have seen before. There's a lot of movies in here that are lesser known. They aren't ones that are really widely available. They aren't ones that you maybe have heard of or seen before. It's a great way to explore, and I found some real interesting, hidden treasures or movies that's like, wow, I didn't know this really existed, or maybe I've heard briefly about this, never saw it before. That was fun to check out, and it's just a great way. These are better than their reputation. They vary in quality, but even if you have 20 duds in a pack of 50, that's 30 movies. Anything from hidden gems to great classics, great movies. I have a few more of these I didn't bring out that are a little bit smaller. They're like 10 to 15 movie collections by directors and things like that. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about these packs and how they actually can be pretty cool. And if you see them on the shelves and you've been avoiding grabbing them because of their reputation, they actually are worth the price. They are worth grabbing. I'd say some of these I wouldn't mind paying $15-20 for, but you normally can find them for 5 to 10, 50 movies. They are just fantastic packs. And then these two I picked up here, again, varying quality, but there's some great ones on here, some great Three Stooges. The first one that I watched, Till the Clouds Roll By, Judy Garland I watched, even though she's barely in it. I was like, oh, I gotta watch that first, Judy Garland. Half-decent movie about the writer of the music in Showboat, and decent. Definitely, though, the showpieces they do, a song or a number from a lot of his work over his career, and those are fantastic. Those are really, really good and worth watching just for that, and the print wasn't that bad on it anyway, so that's a great example. Just, alright, I made it through one movie. That was worth the $2 easily by itself. There's 49 others. So let me know below if you have any of these, if you've seen any of these. There's so many really interesting giant movie collections now that are super, super cheap, on DVD especially, and they're worth the price if you find them.